Alright guys, as you may know, my channel has been demonetized. In order to keep the channel alive, you can support me on Patreon, which is a great platform to finance content creators, or you can make a single donation on PayPal. And last but not least, I've launched my masterclass where I teach you everything there is to know about game and tactical analysis, with all the methods and tips I personally use. You can find details in the description down below. Thank you, enjoy the video. Invited for La Copa America, Japan is taking advantage of the competition to prepare for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics with a group of young players. The way they play is pretty interesting. Let's break it down in today's analysis. Japan play in a 4-4-2 formation, with the wide midfielders likely to tuck in, and the forward Abe dropping like a false 9. Most players got replaced from the first game to the second, except Shibasaki and 3 defenders. The aim is to give playtime to different players. Let's start with their defensive phase first. Japan leave the ball to the opponents and they just have around 40% possession on average. They tend to set their block in a medium 4-4-2. They got a very active defending with some pressing moves started on specific triggers, like back passes for example. But the pressure is only applied on the centre backs, not on the keeper, to maintain the medium shape of the block. Here, Betancourt back to goals, opportunity to press him efficiently. Really proactive defending. And then we see the efforts from the teammates to follow the first move. Here, the forward anticipates a heavy touch. Inside the block there's a real mixed man orientation in the Japanese defensive animation. And there's a full commitment from the forwards to do the efforts and the compensations. Again, we see the way they're oriented to the opponents. The level of defensive participation from the forwards is impressive. Absolutely no hesitation to be tough on the opponent. Japan have an interesting medium animation, but more troubles to defend very low around that box. 15 shots conceded against Chile, and 29 shots conceded against Uruguay. Nice screen from the ref. When they defend very low, they've got this tendency to gather around the goal, which leaves opponent free for the second ball. Same mechanism again. Now, let's see what the Japanese do on the ball. As we saw, Japan is not really a possession team, and they're not very patient on the build-up. They almost never have sequences with 10 to 15 passes in a row. They build vertically with penetrative passes to widen the field is getting narrow, Abe dropping, and the fullbacks might be wide as well. Sometimes it looks like a 4-2-4 system, with the same principles of quickly finding the forwards. We gotta say, Japanese players are brave enough to not play easy passes, they always have the will to penetrate. Here is bringing an interesting situation, but well corrected by Uruguay. They also regularly play long too, but this doesn't bring interesting situations in general. In attack, they keep the same verticality, with pace and compactness on the side of the ball. Very good action here. The forwards are getting narrow on the same half of the pitch and they attempt combinations, but sometimes it just doesn't succeed. Japan's talent is limited, but there's an interesting mobility and dynamism from the forwards. Beyond the principles, we can also see some actual coordinated moves. One player creating movement and forwards pinning centre backs, so there's a free man to receive the ball. However, the lack of quality is a problem to create big chances. It's always a valuable concept to move in order to create space and option, not only for you, but also for the collective. And the passes show the personality to use tight and difficult passing lanes. Because of the lack of quality, they can't play like Ajax or something. Japan's number 10, Nakajima, also tries many solo attempts. He's an interesting player, but maybe too individualistic right now. There again, him asking for the ball. Japan are interested on offensive transitions. With their style of play, they heavily rely on counter-attacks to create danger. They quickly try to break forward on the transitions with 4 or 5 players. They have quick and agile players in attack, and the fullbacks can also be involved at times. Higher ball recoveries often bring the most simple transitions. And Nakajima, him again, is likely to carry the ball a lot on transitions too. As I was saying, transitions for them are the best way to create danger. Here's the totality of their offensive production. Against Chile, 13 shots, 3 on target, and against Uruguay, 13 shots, 2 on target for 2 goals. And the second goal against Uruguay was on a counter-attack too. It is worth mentioning that Japan is the team involved in the counter-pressing. Whenever they lose the ball, Japan are ready to counter-press with a man orientation and almost preventive marking as well. Of course, the aim is to recover the ball as fast as possible. The density they put on the side of the ball is a major key to a quick ball recovery. They put a proper intensity in their effort, which is not the case of every team in La Copa America. On this sequence, you can see all the efforts highlighted. But if the Japanese counter-pressing is bypassed, danger is coming. Great move by Suarez and Cavani. An important point is that Japan is a weak team in the air. It is a cliche to say they suffer in the air because they're short, they're not very tall, but the team against Uruguay was 1m78 on average, and 1m79 for Uruguay. They're just not very good. They've won 44% of their aerial duels so far. Well, duel statistics are one thing, but the worst is when they suffer in the air inside that box. The marking inside the box can actually be terrible. One goal conceded on a corner kick against Chile, and another against Uruguay when they were leading 2-1. Something a bit ridiculous is when they just foul opponents instead of playing the aerial duel. From what we've seen, Japan suffered from early fatigue in the second half, so they can't play with the same energy anymore. This doesn't define the absolute physical level of the players, it's just what happens within the team right now. That's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed the analysis. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget you can find all details in the description for the masterclass, etc. See you next time.